Hello and welcome back to the channel. We'll be getting straight into it in a second. Let's first have a look at the map. So we're currently in Imilchil, making our way towards Kenifra. There are lots of mountain roads to ride to get to Kenifra. We'll stop there, pick up some fuel, and then make our way towards Ifrane. Ifrane is a very unusual town, very Swiss looking. So we pass through Ifrane on our way to Ifrane National Park. Once we reach Ifrane National Park, that is our end game, is to camp here for the night before the next day making our way on to Fez. It's now 7:30 in the morning. Early starts as usual. Well, I wake up at 6:30, go down for breakfast. We've had breakfast. It's the view from my room. Up in the mountains. There's fields over here. They're growing stuff, whatever they're growing, I don't even know. Farming fields over there. Sunrise in a bit. Another busy day. We'll be out of the mountains today and into the flatlands, heading towards Fez, Ifrane National Park. Sat having a coffee and a tea, and look what comes past. Donkey. We've seen lots of donkeys.
I like that bit this morning when we were coming down that mountain. There was two young kids on a mule.
What I really liked about Moroccan cities was the vibrancy and the colours in the towns. There's things to see, and there's bright reds and oranges and warm colours that just felt so welcoming. I loved it. Gotta love the African style roadworks. No messing about, let's get on with it. We may not have been off-road, but we definitely took the back roads. Close to entering Ifrane National Park now. It's starting to become a lot more alpine. It's very different from the Atlas Mountains, but it's just different again. It's Moroccan style alpine, and it's wonderful trees and stuff, and you'll see the scenery now. We start winding back up in altitude again. So what we did in Ifrane National Park was there was an open land that you just saw. It was super windy, so we got into the woods in the next section, went off the trail by 100 meters or so, and found a spot to camp. We set up camp, set up a safe place to make a campfire, and got settled in. We're in Ifrane National Park at the moment. We've got a little bit off the trail, off the beaten track. We've come down this little path here, and we're right in the woods now. We found this little hollow. It's out the wind, it's between the trees. It's got some flat ground. There's lots of firewoody bits. And I reckon if we don't get hassled, it's a perfect camp spot. Mark's getting the kettle out. I'll give you some water. There we go. Time's 4:30. Time check. Let's see. It's the third time he's taken it apart.
We've been on the trip for 13 days in New Zealand, now I'm repairing it.
That too. But he has picked a stunning.
Trail of broken things on his bike.
It's not tubeless
Can you buy
tonight.
Bladders separately for your.
Oh yeah, about £8.
So as it got dark, we started settling down and getting hungry. So we got our little those little packaged meals. We hadn't been eating them throughout the trip. This was the only time we actually ate them. We were just starving, and we had had lunch and everything, but it was time to have these. So we sat down. I had what did I have? Chili con carne and rice. It was lovely, and as you can see, it's getting dark now in the time lapse. So we're about to light a fire and call it quits for the evening. So we got up the next morning bright and early as usual, packed up camp, got ready to go for the day to make our way into Fez. So what are you looking at on the left hand side there? Well, if you look very carefully in the center of the screen, there is a monkey, and that monkey is called a Barbary macaque, which occurs naturally here in Ifrane National Park. Beautiful little golden monkey.
Look, yeah, they're in here. Yeah. And they're in this tree. Look at them all. What's he take to the fucking tree? Right over there, look behind there. Picking fleas and ticks off. Right. In the tree playing.
So after Ifrane National Park, we made our way towards Fez. This is Fez in the Medina. We found a hotel and we checked in, parked up our bikes, and we went to go see the tannery. This is the tannery in Fez. They're making yellow skins here, and they dye them and dip them in the various different colors. He has the raw goat hides. I think these were goat hides, which are softer. Mark even bought himself a little man bag, I reckon. No, I'm joking. That was the view out of the tannery shop. They sold every leather good under the sun. The Medina itself was beautiful. There were so many colours and bright things to see. We walked down all the passageways, through the markets, and somehow managed not to get lost, which was quite an achievement in itself. There are lots of rat runs. It's a beautiful place, very vibrant. It's definitely a recommended place to go visit. We saw the Grand Mosque. We saw all the little cobbled streets and little nooks and crannies, including little teeny tiny cats along the way. It was magical. It's what you would think of a true market in places like Morocco. So we're very privileged to go and see all of this. In this particular one, we went to Fez on purpose. We skipped Marrakesh. Marrakesh is a little bit more touristy, in my opinion. So we went to Fez, and we were in the minority as tourists. There was maybe less than 5% people were tourists here, and mostly local people frequenting the markets and things like that, which was really nice. Eventually we settled down. We found a little place to have a coffee and just chill and watch the world go by, which is very cool. Just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The decorations, the sofa, look, and then you go out into the courtyard. My room. It's just stunning, absolutely stunning. This is where we had parked our bikes up overnight. We came back the next morning. We'd paid 70 dirhams for them to look after our 3 bikes. We hopped on our bikes. We did a little tour around town just to see some of the sights on the bikes itself before we started heading towards Nador and the port itself. You know what? I've got some biltong in my backpack.
You got some what?
Biltong.
Oh, I'll give it to him.
No.
Why fucking say it?
Because I wanted to say no. Look where we are, ladies and gents.
Oh, I do like to be beside the sea. Oh, yeah, dude.
So once we got to Nador, we had a little bit of time to kill, so I managed to talk us into a private beach club area where we could have some juices and some food before we went to the ferry port, which was a bit luxurious and a bit cheeky, but hey, why not? We're on the Wassa Express again, overnight, out of Morocco. It's a nearby ferry. You know the layout now. Nighttime departure. Hopefully we get some sleep on board. So here's one final look at the map. We went from Ifrane National Park to Fez. From Fez, it was time to head to the port and make our way home, basically. So it's a long journey home. We got pretty much on boring motorways, made our way towards Tarurit, which was a passing point that we went on the way out at the beginning of the trip. And then we made our way back to Nador and ended up at that beach club just before we got on the ferry. And then, yeah, it was an overnight ferry back to Almeria, where we had a long journey across Spain. It was 1,000 kilometers pretty much. So we made our way back to Santander and then got our ferry back to the UK. So that was pretty much the end of the trip. All that's left to say is a massive thank you to these two legends for being brave enough to come along the trip, to believe in me and to follow me, and make the trip as special as what it was. Cheers, boys. Thank you.